All right, so in this video, I want to introduce you to the web hosting solution that I use and recommend for building your niche affiliate SEO websites, and kind of how to set that up, how to connect your domains to your hosting, and kind of how this is all going to work together. So previously you learned about domain names and how those work and where to get those. In this video, we're going to be going over the hosting side and how to connect that. So the web hosting solution that I recommend is called Host60, HOSIXY.com. It's run by an internet marketer who, he understands our kind of internet marketing language, and he just has better solutions and the option for custom solutions for servers and hosting solutions, unlike popular brands like Bluehost and HostGator. And honestly, like the more websites that you build, if they're all getting tons and tons of traffic, you're eventually going to reach a cap or a limit with places like Bluehost and HostGator. I know on their marketing, on their websites, they say they have like unlimited bandwidth and limited websites or domains that you can host and all that stuff, but you're eventually going to reach a threshold that you're going to have to upgrade to like a dedicated server, which is really which is far more expensive than a regular shared hosting plan. So I recommend starting with Host60 to begin with, just because it's cheaper, it's faster, it's better equipment. You're not going to have to worry about scaling, and if you have questions or need to reach out to support, you're going to get fast support, and he's going to be able to help, and they're going to be able to help you more so than just kind of the generic support at a big name brand like Bluehost or HostGator. So Host60 is what I recommend. You can create an account for free. The guy's name is Costas, and he's really professional, really fast at getting back to your questions. And I'm not really sure exactly the plan that I have, because I initially set up my account for some larger SEO sites that I was going to do, but I'm pretty sure I have one of these server pilot VPSs, which stands for Virtual Private Server, and I believe I have this one because I pay about $60 a month, which sounds like a bunch, but if you're going to be placing hundreds or thousands of websites on these eventually, $2 a day is not a lot to pay. You don't have to start out there. You're probably just fine just starting out this $15 a month one, but you can either select this, or you can just create an account for free and then reach out to Costas and see what he recommends. But I think you should be good starting out with this starter plan, and you should be able to easily scale up if you need more like bandwidth or hosting space. So I would probably select this starter plan. That should get you by fine for a while, or while you're going through this training. But that's what I'm going to use, and this is kind of how it works. So I've got the domain, and for Costas's hosting, Host60, instead of pointing the domain directly to the hosting like you would do with like Bluehost or HostGator, one of those other popular web hosting solutions, we're going to point it to a place called Cloudflare, which is a content delivery network, and from Cloudflare, then we're going to point that to our web hosting. So just one little in-between step here, but it's all pretty simple. I'm going to show you how to do that here. So once you create your account and get your hosting plan set up, which should probably take 24 to 48 hours. They're usually really fast at getting it set up. You'll be emailed some login details, and basically what you're going to be looking for is this server pilot login. So it's a little bit different than other hosting back offices. Most people use cPanel or WHM if you've had hosting solutions in the past, but I really like the setup and what Costas uses with Server Pilot, because it's super intuitive, super simple. But I'm just going to log into my account really quick, and it's really simple to set up new websites. So I've got this one server here, so I'm going to click that, and basically to add a domain, we're going to click Create App. We're going to give it a name, and I'm just going to add one of these domains that I have. So I'm just going to select actiongeneric.xyz. I'm going to add that. Let's see. We'll give it a name at the actual domain here. It can just be the domain.extension, and you can either use the same thing for the name, but this is just kind of an identifier. I'm just going to remove the extension, and then we can either set it up if we want to install like some HTML site and drag and drop our files manually with a file transfer protocol, an FTP program. We don't have to install WordPress, but these sites are going to be WordPress, so might as well just install WordPress. We can give it a title. You can just call it the same thing. Username, you can just go with admin for this. Password, I'm just going to type in a password that I normally use for most of my sites, and then an email address, and this is going to send you like your login details as well, just kind of as a backup. So I'm going to plug in my email address here, and then you can leave this set to whatever default they have for the PHP server. If you have more than one server, more than one system or whatever, you can select that here, but you're generally only going to have one server set up. If you have more servers in the future, you may have to select which one you want to go on here, but then you just click create app, and it's basically going to install WordPress as well, so it makes it really simple. It's going to create that. It's going to create, you can add, I use LastPass to manage all my passwords, but I'm not going to save that for right now. And it's going to create a database for your WordPress, and then I'm going to go into my email, and I have my new WordPress site information here. So I've got everything set up now for this, to the database and the WordPress and stuff. I just need to connect my domain name to Cloudflare, and then connect Cloudflare to ServerPilot, so that everything is all synced up. Because if I go to actiongeneric.xyz right now, there's nothing's going to show because it's not connected. So within my Cloudflare account, and this is completely free to set up an account on Cloudflare, you'll just click login, and then I'm going to log into my account. And then it's really easy to add new sites. I'm just going to highlight the same domain name, click add site, paste it in here, click begin scan. It's going to like scan for some records on my domain registrar. And then once it's done scanning, you'll click continue setup. And then it'll take you to this page with all this stuff that looks really confusing. You can delete pretty much all of this. You can click these little X's and delete basically all these little records here. And then basically you only need two records. You need one called an A record, so you just select A, you'll type in the @ symbol, and then you'll come up here to your server pilot, and this is like your this is your actual server number here, and then you'll copy this, paste this in where it says IP version 4 address. You'll paste that in there, click add record, and then you'll add a CNAME record, and then you'll just type in www, and then copy this domain name, paste it in there, click add record. And those are the only two records that you need. And then this basically is just saying point this domain name to the web host, and then point the www version to the web host as well. And then click continue, and then we'll select free website, don't need to pay for anything, click continue. And then it's going to give us some name servers that we need to plug into our domain registrar. So we'll just highlight this, highlight the first one, click manage for this domain, and then we'll come down here under custom DNS. We'll paste that first name server there. We'll highlight the second one, paste the second one here, click the little save check mark, and then we'll click continue. And then everything's set up basically. So we'll give it, a couple of minutes. It may take up to like 24 hours, but usually it's everything's connected within a matter of like 10-15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes or whatever. And then from this point we can visit our domain. Once it's done, visit actiongeneric.xyz/wp-login.php, and then we should be able to log in with the username and the password that we set up once we created the website and added it to our server pilot account, which was admin, and then I typed in a password. So everything's set up. You just need to give it a few minutes to propagate. But the way I like to do it is to go ahead and set up a couple of domains at a time, and then just give it, a couple of hours, and then I can come back and I can start. And then from that point, I can start setting up everything, such as themes and plugins, and making everything pretty and making everything look the way I want it for, kind of the skeleton or the framework for my site design and layout. But that's how to set up your web hosting account, or at least the web hosting solution that I recommend, which again is Host60, and how to connect your domain name and point it to your Host60 web hosting account.